lovely to see you here today to join us at this really important ceremony. It's a privilege for us to be here today to unveil this memorial plaque, which pays respect to the 30 residents who lost lives in Australia's deadliest building fire 50 years ago today. This plaque recognises and remembers those who died and acknowledges the men and women who responded, firefighters, ambulance officers, police, staff, relatives of the memorial home and members of the public all played a role in doing what they could to save the lives of those men. Their contribution is also recognised, as without their intervention more lives would have been lost. On behalf of the MFB and my fellow officers, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Major Nottle and representatives from the Salvation Army, MFB senior officers over here, Jeff Plunkett, who would work tirelessly to ensure that these men will never be forgotten, and without whose persistence and tenacity we would not be unveiling this plaque here today. Thank you very much, Jeff. I'd also like to thank the reporters and photographers who attended the incident on the evening and helped with this recognition. Thanks too to the current building owners for allowing us to do this today. I also want to give special welcome and thanks to the firefighters here today. On my left, Don Brennan, Trevor Reed, Leanne Dewhurst, Les Gray and Leon Trembath, and I think we added one more in there along the journey, that attended the incident on the evening and did all they could on the night to preserve life in the face of considerable adversity and chaos. Finally, welcome to the relatives and friends of the men who died in this fire, who have come today to pay their respects to the fallen. Very timely fire alarm bell ringing there. On the 13th of August 1966, a catastrophic fire caused by a knocked over heater tore through 2 floors of the building that previously stood on the site behind me, bringing with intense heat, flames, smoke, toxic fumes and deadly carbon monoxide. As soon as the MFB received the fire call, 6 fire engines were immediately responded. Arriving on scene, firefighters realised that 6 appliances was not going to be enough and more were immediately requested. In all, 24 MFB units, 64 firefighters from 7 different stations attended the fire, which bears testimony to its ferocity. Firefighters demonstrated tremendous bravery on that fateful evening. Trevor Reed, here today, was one of the first into the building, rousing residents and yelling for people to get out. Firefighters fought long and hard to bring the blaze under control in adverse conditions, hindered by intense heat, dense smoke, pandemonium and chaos that enveloped them. I'm sure that Don, Ian, Les and Leon all have similar tales to tell from that horrific night. In pairs they worked tirelessly to rescue and retrieve all that they could, bring victims down to the resuscitation zone on the ground floor, a process that lasted over an hour. They worked alongside ambulance officers and police officers to resuscitate, revive, comfort and make those comfortable. The injured, dying and rescued were all looked after as best they could be as the ambulances relayed them to various Melbourne hospitals. It was a miracle that 150 people survived that fire, and the fire was brought under control in just 19 minutes after receiving the first call. However, 25 men had lost their lives in the fire and 5 more died later. The legacy for MFB as a result of this fire was that breathing apparatus sets were purchased and introduced, the wearing of which went on to become a normal part of the job. Nowadays, on average, up to 36 people are rescued each year through the use of this type of equipment. Another change was the teaching of mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, so vital on the day to bring back the dying. Nowadays, firefighters play a key role in emergency medical response, are experts in CPR, and giving vital first response care to lifeless, pulseless patients. Firefighting, as you know, is a courageous job which requires generosity, community spirit, great teamwork and a willingness to assist others. It is a career that we take pride in. Our people on that day showed their dedication to protecting the community, and I'm quite sure without their valiant efforts, many more lives would have perished. Days like today and symbols of respect like this new plaque are vitally important. On this day, we mark the 50th anniversary of this fire. This plaque is an apt reminder of the dangers of fire and the strength and courage of human spirit. Thank you very much. we'll make some time for some photos with the firefighters around the Plaque just after the main agreement. Thanks, Brett.
Good afternoon. Thanks so much for coming along this afternoon. And first of all, I really want to thank Jeff Plunkett for all your work, Jeff, in first of all writing the book, raising it to the public's attention, and then all the wonderful work that you've done in making this happen today. And I want to thank you too for all the work that you've done in making sure that we have a memorial service for these men who will never be forgotten from now on. So thanks so much for your work, Jeff. We really appreciate it. To the MFB, I want to express our deepest appreciation for paying for this plaque. It's a reminder of what took place on this site this day 50 years ago. And I want to say to the firefighters, you guys are amazing and you're our heroes. And you're the ones that climbed up 50-foot wooden ladders right here to try and rescue people. And you did all you possibly could to save lives on that day. And for that we are deeply thankful. And you're amazing people. Thanks so much for being here today. It's the MFB of today. And the Victoria Police and everyone in Victoria, you're our heroes of today. And you do all you can in terms of putting your lives on the line to make sure that our community is kept safe. And your work is taken for granted, unfortunately, but today we want to acknowledge you, we want to honour you for all the work that you do for our community. It's deeply appreciated, so thank you so much. What we need to do on this occasion is remember that there were people that were forgotten. And they were people that sought out this building because they were looking for a safe place, a place of refuge, because they had nowhere to lay their head. It was an event that took place 50 years ago. And when we stop and we look at all the developments that have taken place with the Fire Brigade, or methods now of fighting fires are so much more sophisticated than they were those many years ago. Paramedics' methods for saving lives are so much more sophisticated. Policing has completely changed. The way the Salvation Army cares and accommodates homeless people has completely changed as well. And yet with all of this change, one fact remains, and that is that we still have people sleeping rough on our streets today. There are still people that are in need of safe places and refuges where they can get back on their feet and start their lives again. And so as we remember the lives that were lost here today, let us never ever forget the people that are sleeping rough on our streets today. Let us never ever forget too that we need to be passionate and focused and doing all that we can to make sure that this never happens again and that people living on the streets never lose their lives again, and in fact we give all the supports that they need to get back on their feet. So thank you so much for being here, and we invite you to join us at 2:30 up at 69 Burke Street for a memorial service. Thank you so much for your time. Yeah, on you too. Yeah, great to see you again. Yeah, thanks for it. It was fantastic.
That's one of the direct
Were you in the new place or
it's filming.